She's the mother of dragons in Game of Thrones. And that's what Blake Lively says in a text message, that she too has her dragons, Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift. That's, again, believed to be the other person.
In the explosive legal battle between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, new text messages reveal shocking behind-the-scenes drama. From Blake Lively's alleged push to control the film's edit to these apparent mentions of Taylor Swift and even a weight discussion.
You know that Justin and his team promised to start releasing all of his correspondence with her. They're saying, we'll be an open book. This is not a nice person. And Justin bent over backwards to accommodate her many, many demands, which included, according to him, taking over the film, rewriting scenes, all of which is very irregular for the co-star.
This morning, 3 months after the bitter PR war between It Ends With Us stars Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni began, the case has finally reached court. Their attorneys facing off for the first time in front of a federal judge who warned both sides to rein in the public rancor to avoid influencing a potential jury.
It actually gets worse.
But they're saying she decided she wanted to take over and use the power of her fame and name and that of her husband, Ryan Reynolds, to bully Justin Baldoni into the fetal position. At one point, he leaned forward and slowly dragged his lips from her ear and down her neck as he said, "It smells so good." None of this was remotely in character or based on any dialogue in the script, and nothing needed to be said because, again, there was no sound. Mr. Baldoni was caressing Ms. Lively with his mouth in a way that had nothing to do with their roles. When Ms. Lively later objected to this behavior, Mr. Baldoni's response was,
Megyn Kelly isn't mincing words when it comes to the behind-the-scenes footage of Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni from It Ends With Us. After accusing Baldoni of she gave her take on the clip during the Megyn Kelly show, and let's just say she wasn't impressed by the outrage. So what went down behind the scenes, and what explosive revelations did Megyn reveal about this footage? Let's find out after you click that subscribe button and notification bell.
Producing partner of showing her then they produced in his lawsuit against her a picture of the alleged and it was a beautiful, artistic, absolutely shot of his business partner and his wife with their newborn baby in a bathtub after a bathtub birth, an at-home birth, holding one another. You can't see any body parts. You can just see that two people clearly are in a bathtub holding their baby. Just here's yet another one. She wants us to believe this is actionable what we just witnessed there. You tell me whether that's what that looks like to you.
Because look at this text. Regarding dailies, again, this is to Blake Lively. Regarding dailies, obviously you know I want your input. That's why I sent the 5-hour playlist. But at this point, it's too early for me to share all the dailies. Once I am physically in the edit and have touched scenes myself, I'd love to share with you. Lively, however, did not appear to be easily deterred because she allegedly pressed further with this response. Regarding dailies, none of the producers have had access to dailies. It's just you.
We have to rethink all the bad press that we read or wrote about Blake Lively. Were we used by a harasser trying to smear her? And this led Justin to eventually speak out saying, this is all BS. That I didn't harass her in any way, shape, or form. She tried to steal my movie from her. I bent over backward to accommodate her.
I can send you my pass at the roof or just read with you when we get together next week. Let me know what you prefer. If you knew me longer, then you'd have a sense of how flirty and yummy the ball busting would play. It's my love language, spicy and playfully bold, never with teeth. And him serving it back to her is just as important.
But we can assume it had something to do with what he saw in these dailies, what he read in the script. Who even knows what led him to even visit on this day? And the person says that from that day forward, he started involving himself, that he basically became a chaperone for her on set. He was there basically every day, involved in the projects, wanting to rewrite lines. And suddenly Ryan Reynolds was trying to wrangle this project from Justin Baldoni, okay?
In her breakdown, Kelly described Lively as being completely flirtatious in the scene. The clip, first shared by DailyMail.com, shows Lively and Baldoni dancing together on set. According to Kelly's team, Baldoni is seen leaning in close, kissing Lively's forehead, brushing his face against her neck, flicking her lip with his thumb, and even telling her she smells good, all while chatting with her out of character.
And you can hear Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni interacting as themselves, knowing that this is all on video and that this is going to be used to create this dance scene. And no such moment is shown. Just Just watch it. Watch it.
But Kelly dismissed the accusations, calling it a nothing burger. She argued that they were simply acting, playing a couple in love, and trying to make their chemistry look real for the camera. She also pointed out that Lively was giggling, holding hands with Baldoni, and chatting casually since the audio wouldn't be used in the final film.
One of the key allegations in her complaint against Justin Baldoni was as follows, okay, from paragraph 48 of her complaint. She writes, on another occasion, Mr. Baldoni and Ms. Lively were filming a slow dance scene for a montage in which no sound was recorded. Mr. Baldoni chose to let the camera roll and have them perform the scene, but did not act in character as Ryle. Instead, he spoke to Ms. Lively out of character as himself. At one point, he leaned forward and slowly dragged his lips from her ear and down her neck as he said, "It smells so good." None of this was remotely in character or based on any dialogue in the script, and nothing needed to be said because, again, there was no sound. Mr. Baldoni was caressing Ms. Lively with his mouth in a way that had nothing to do with their roles. When Ms. Lively later objected to this behavior, Mr. Baldoni's response was, "I'm not even attracted to you." Well, guess what? TMZ has gotten its hands on that video, and you can hear Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni interacting as themselves, knowing that this is all on video and that this is going to be used to create this dance scene, and no such moment is shown.
Kelly insisted that while they were clearly being flirty, it was all lighthearted. According to her, they even joked about their spouses, making it clear that there was nothing serious going on. In the now viral clip, the two debate whether it's better to talk or kiss during the montage. Lively says talking feels more romantic, and Baldoni agrees. Then she wonders if anyone will figure out what they're really discussing. He jokingly reassures her they're never going to find out.
And no such moment is shown. Just watch it. Watch it.
We don't shut up.
And Emily and I have we have these moments where
staring. You just stare.
Literally we've done it for 5 minutes. it's like, I think you would find it terrifying. He's literally
You're talking about their spouses.
each other, and
I
time
found a sociopath.
and time stops.
Yeah.
But that's just how it's been for us from the beginning.
No, we're like, oh my god, there's not enough time.
Oh.
And they score again.
No.
Again.
It's like, oh my god, I forgot to tell you something else.
I think that's cute. You guys are really cute.
I think it's more than cute. I feel so nosy.
They're acting like lovers.
Noses.
And my nose is so big.
Yes. I was hoping that we could address this. It's not too late. Just gotta shut down. We gotta call an insurance month and just deal with that.
Yeah.
And then
Deal with your big nose.
just kidding.
Okay, there. Okay, so he puts his like head in her neck.
I'm not getting beard on you today.
And says, "Am I getting beard on you?"
It smells good.
Well, it's not that. It's my body makeup.
Right. And then says, "Smells good." And she says, "It's my body makeup." That's her big moment. They are playfully acting for the camera, trying to make it look like two lovers, two people in a relationship.
Now, with Hollywood buzzing over this footage, Kelly's take is definitely stirring the pot. But what do you think? Is this harmless acting, or is there more to the story? The conversation between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni takes a personal turn when they start talking about their spouses. Lively mentions that she and Ryan Reynolds talk all the time, while Baldoni jokes that he and his wife Emily just stare at each other for 10 minutes straight, making it seem like only 5. That cracks Lively up, but Baldoni quickly adds that she'd probably find it terrifying. As Lively keeps gushing about how much she and Reynolds talk, Baldoni calls it cute and says they make a great couple. But Lively corrects him, saying it's more than just cute. Realizing his mistake, Baldoni quickly agrees and calls their relationship amazing. Megyn Kelly, however, isn't having it. After the accusations tied to this clip, she calls out Lively for making it seem like something serious happened. She questions whether anyone watching would actually see this as harassment and claims Lively is now trying to position herself as a Me Too victim because of this scene. Kelly doesn't hold back, calling the whole thing absurd and insisting that Lively isn't being truthful. She even says she believes Lively less than ever and completely doubts her claims now. In her view, if Lively were telling the truth, there'd be nothing to fear. Meanwhile, in the now viral footage, Baldoni, who directed It Ends With Us, suggests they should be filmed almost kissing. But Lively keeps the conversation going, arguing that chatting is actually more romantic, and teasing that audiences don't always need the kiss they expect. Then things take a goofy turn. As they press their foreheads together, Lively starts talking about noses, saying she feels so nosy. Baldoni jokes that his nose is huge, and Lively bursts into laughter, playfully saying that she was hoping they could finally acknowledge it. She even jokes about needing to call an insurance company to deal with it before laughing it off.
In this voicemail at 2 a.m., it's interesting, by the way, he has it. I guess he was taping his own voicemails, because this is, according to TMZ, coming from him or his team, not from her. I think the point of it is to show us that he was not some evil harasser. He was subjugated to her and Ryan Reynolds, and clearly afraid of both of them.
The behind-the-scenes clip rolls into another take, showing Justin Baldoni giving directions to the crew and chatting with Blake Lively about the scene. But just over 7 minutes in, the conversation that seems to have sparked Lively's accusation happens.
I will play you a 2-minute summary of the 7-minute groveling apology he sent her in this voicemail at 2 a.m. It's interesting, by the way, he has it. I guess he was taping his own voicemails, because this is, according to TMZ, coming from him or his team, not from her. I think the point of it is to show us that he was not some evil harasser. He was subjugated to her and Ryan Reynolds, and clearly afraid of both of them. This guy's been to a few too many How to Be a Feminist classes. Take a listen.
Hey, Blake. It is 2 a.m. Hopefully this does not wake you up. I want to start with an apology. Man, reading the second part of your message, my heart sank. And I'm really sorry. I for sure fell short. And you worked really hard on that. And the way you framed it and how that made you feel, I just want to say thank you for sharing that with me.
Baldoni asks if his beard is rubbing off on her, and Lively laughs, saying she's probably getting spray tan on him instead. He responds by telling her it smells good, and they both crack up. Lively then clarifies that it's actually her body makeup, not the spray tan. As the extras cheer in the background, Baldoni calls cut and tells everyone they've got enough footage for a 17-minute reel.
And Ryan Reynolds, and clearly afraid of both of them. This guy's been to a few too many How to Be a Feminist classes. Take a listen.
Hey, Blake. It is 2 a.m. Hopefully this does not wake you up. I want to start with an apology. Man, reading the second part of your message, my heart sank.
In her civil rights complaint last month, Lively claimed that no one else heard this exchange because the scene was silent and their microphones were off. But DailyMail.com revealed that Baldoni's mic was actually on and even released the footage showing the entire interaction. After Lively's accusations, Baldoni fired back with a lawsuit of his own. He first sued the New York Times for defamation. Then last week, he escalated things with a massive $400 million lawsuit against Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds. He's accusing her of using her fame to take over his film and destroy his career.
This legal battle between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively just got more intense, and I didn't think it could, because Justin just launched an entire website with close to 400 pages of evidence as he tries to win public opinion in this legal battle between It Ends With Us drama. I don't know anything. Basically, these two are involved in legal disputes. I feel like I've learned more about them in the past few months than I've learned about my friends and family. When you go to his website, there's 2 different documents, but the first one is the amended complaint. It is 224 pages. And in it, it shows that they found metadata of the New York Times article posted in December showing that they have been colluding with Blake and Ryan for months. And then there is the timeline of the relevant events. That is 168 pages, which starts January 1st, 2019, when you first emailed Colleen about the movie, all the way to January 29th, 2025. That is a 6-year timeline. Like, I've never seen anything like this.
Baldoni's suit also claims that Lively didn't even read the book It Ends With Us was based on until filming was already well underway. He further alleges that she, along with her publicist, Leslie Sloan, and the New York Times worked together to stir up negative press against him.
Blake Lively did not even read the book that the movie was based on.
Correct.
And we're not talking War and Peace. And then she wanted to, ixnayed all of the wardrobe choices, because when you're making a movie about a poor woman who's suffering from domestic violence, you want her to look like she has money.
Right.
That Blake said.
That's what she did.
She looks like she has money.
Yep.
And she's dressing in florals. And then she's going on this press tour. Her liquor line
It's insane.
and her hair care line, because that's what women who are trying to escape with their lives are worried about.
In one part of the legal filing, it's claimed that Blake Lively tried to intimidate Justin Baldoni by bringing up her famous husband, Ryan Reynolds, and her close friend, Taylor Swift. She allegedly compared herself to Game of Thrones' Khaleesi, saying, "I have a lot of dragons."
Now you see text messages in this lawsuit from Blake Lively comparing herself to the heroine of Game of Thrones, the fiercest female character we've seen in years, Khaleesi. That's her riding her dragon. She's the mother of dragons in Game of Thrones. And that's what Blake Lively says in a text message, that she too has her dragons, Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift. That's, again, believed to be the other person, and that they are powerful advocates for her. And while it seems to be said, like, I'm so lucky that I have them as great storytellers to help me rewrite the script, what Brian Friedman alleges is, you'll go along or I'll unleash my dragons on you, you loser who no one's ever heard of.
But that's not all. Lively and her team are also accused of altering text conversations between Baldoni's publicist to make it look like they were plotting a smear campaign against her. These edited texts were later shared online, sparking a wave of social media backlash for Baldoni and his team.
This legal battle between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively just got more intense, and I didn't think it could, because Justin just launched an entire website with close to 400 pages of evidence as he tries to win public opinion in this legal battle between It Ends With Us drama. I don't know anything. Basically, these two are involved in legal disputes. I feel like I've learned more about them in the past few months than I've learned about my friends and family. When you go to his website, there's two different documents, but the first one is the amended complaint. It is 224 pages. And in it, it shows that they found metadata of the New York Times article posted in December showing that they have been colluding with Blake and Ryan for months. And then there is the timeline of the relevant events. It is 168 pages, which starts January 1st, 2019, when you first emailed Colleen about the movie, all the way to January 29th, 2025. That is a 6-year timeline. Like, I've never seen anything like this. This is what Justin wants to let the public know, and this website is live and you could see it for yourself. Like, they're really living up to the movie name. It Ends With Us.
Because she writes back, or seemingly writes back, I understand that you'll never personally know all the nuances of the challenges unless you live this physical moment in time I'm in with this physical road ahead. So having your understanding and support to help me pull this off is critical and very, very appreciated. Not just in my experience now, but also healing from experiences past. So thank you.
Baldoni's cross-complaint reveals some shocking details, like how he and his family had to spend the premiere of It Ends With Us in a basement because Lively wouldn't let him be in the same room as her. So is Blake really twisting the truth? If she's not being honest here, what else has she exaggerated or even made up? The whole situation feels like a smear campaign more than a legitimate accusation. This isn't the first time Blake's story has been called into question. You might remember when she accused Justin's producing partner of showing her. Turns out what she called was actually a beautiful, intimate photo of the partner and his wife with their newborn baby after a home birth. There was nothing inappropriate about it.
Producing partner of showing her pornography. Then they produced in his lawsuit against her a picture of the alleged pornography, and it was a beautiful, artistic, absolutely non-pornographic shot of his business partner and his wife with their newborn baby in a bathtub after a bathtub birth, an at-home birth, holding one another. You can't see any body parts. You can just see that two people clearly are in a bathtub holding their baby. just here's yet another one. She wants us to believe this is actionable what we just witnessed there.
This seems to be a pattern for Blake. Her own text messages have come to light, and they show a completely different side of her relationship with Justin. She's the one sending flirty messages, and even inviting him over while she's breastfeeding. It's a stark contrast to the story she's trying to sell to the public.
This is what she's done throughout. She said, he came into my trailer while I was breastfeeding. Well, then he produced the text messages showing her saying, I'm breastfeeding, come on over. She, time and time again, she accuses him of doing something, which then when you hear the full context is an absolute nothing burger.
Megyn Kelly also pointed out that Blake's actions don't match her accusations. She's been controlling the narrative, leaking information, and trying to paint herself as the victim here. It seems like she's been working on fixing her image after some videos last summer made her look, well, less than graceful. Oh, but hold on, it gets even juicier. Megyn Kelly isn't just calling out Blake Lively. She's also highlighting how other celebrities are stepping up to support Justin Baldoni after all the drama and lawsuits. You'd think that if Blake was the real victim here, her co-stars would have her back, right? But instead, a whole crew of celebs is coming forward to back Baldoni's side of the story. Now, not everyone's making a big noise about it, but some well-known figures are either publicly speaking out or quietly showing their support behind the scenes. And trust me, this mess has the entire Hollywood community watching closely.
And this is from the film Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. So we're talking about co-stars America Ferrera, Amber Tamblyn, and Alexis Bledel. And that statement read, as Blake's friends and sisters for over 20 years, we stand with her in solidarity as she fights back against the reported campaign waged to destroy her reputation.
So it's usually not my thing to make those kind of videos, but I think it's time to stand up for a person that I really love. And this person is Blake Lively. And I'm really tired to see those kind of cruel and bad comment about her without knowing the situation. So that's why I want to link right here an article, the New York Times, just to make you understand before commenting what happened.
Sources say these defenders come from all walks of Baldoni's life. His close friends, people who've worked with him, and even those who admire his work and down-to-earth personality. Some know him for charity work, others from past projects, but they all agree the idea that Baldoni is a bully doesn't match the person they know. Oh, but wait, here's where it gets really interesting. With all these celebs stepping up and some shady documents backing Baldoni's side, the whole situation is starting to look different. People are starting to wonder if Blake might be downplaying or even ignoring her role in some of the lighter, more stylish moments in It Ends With Us. So let's dive in. This story is about to get even more dramatic as we break down the celebs defending Baldoni in their own unique ways. First up, we've got Gina Rodriguez. Y'all know her from Jane the Virgin, right? Well, Baldoni directed one of the show's most iconic episodes. When Gina was talking about her upcoming projects in an interview, she got asked about the drama surrounding It Ends With Us. And let me tell you, she didn't hold back. After a brief pause, she went all in, giving major props to Baldoni for respecting the source material. Gina went on to say that Baldoni would never compromise the emotional core of a story just to throw in some jokes. And honestly, she was low-key hinting that if there was any push for more humor, it probably came from somewhere else. Maybe even from a team decision, not just one person calling the shots, like Lively's been saying. Her comments set the internet on fire, especially with fans of the book and Team Lively questioning if Gina's words really proved something. But let's be real, her calm and collected support of Baldoni made her one of the strongest voices in this entire drama. Next, we've got Chrissy Metz. You probably know her from This Is Us. Yeah, the show had us all in tears. But what you might not know is that Chrissy met Baldoni through some charitable work. She's not just about drama on screen. She's all about supporting teamwork behind the scenes in Hollywood. When the rumors started flying that Lively might not be telling the full story about what went down during production, Chrissy didn't stay quiet. She posted something cryptic on social media. Nothing shady, but definitely hinting that kindness and honesty should always lead when discussing creative differences. And word on the street is that Chrissy also had a few quiet conversations with close friends, standing firm that this whole situation wasn't as simple as it's being made out to be. So, Chrissy Metz wasn't out here starting any drama with Blake Lively, but her subtle support for Baldoni definitely got noticed, especially when she highlighted how he focuses on emotional depth over glitz and glam. Now let's talk about Hilary Swank. Yeah, the two-time Academy Award winner, Hilary Swank. She's never worked with Baldoni, but they run in the same circles, especially when it comes to social justice and philanthropy. Word is Hillary wasn't having it with the idea that Baldoni was some controlling director who shuts down women's voices. Insiders say she made it clear that Baldoni is all about creating an inclusive and empowering atmosphere on set. Hillary didn't make any big public statements, but her quiet support for Baldoni says a lot. She's not one to get involved in drama, so for her to side with him, that's a pretty big deal. And then there's Mindy Kaling. You know her for her sharp humor and amazing writing. But what you might not know is that she and Baldoni have been low-key friends for a while. They're always showing each other love on social media and vibing on creative energy. So when Mindy was asked about the It Ends With Us drama on the red carpet, she didn't hesitate. She gave Baldoni props for balancing humor and heart in his work and made it clear that any comedy in the film was a group effort. She also backed him up by mentioning how he's always been a champion for telling women's stories. Mindy didn't directly call out Blake, but her praise for Baldoni's character and work says a lot. Okay, so Mindy Kaling wasn't just throwing out casual comments. Her words were a straight-up endorsement of Baldoni, no question about it. But trust me, the drama doesn't stop there. Next up, we've got Selena Gomez. Now, Selena and Baldoni haven't worked on any major projects together, but they definitely run in the same tight circles. Insiders say Selena wasn't buying the whole Lively was blindsided story about the comedic rewrites. She reportedly told people that there's no way those big creative decisions, especially with someone like Lively in the lead, could have been made without her knowing. Selena never directly called out Lively, but when she talked about teamwork and collaboration in filmmaking, it was clear she was backing Baldoni. Her comments had everyone reading between the lines. And then there's Jordan Fisher. He's been loud and proud in supporting Baldoni, and he's worked with him on several projects. Jordan's given Baldoni high praise for being professional and fair with everyone on set. He didn't hold back, making it clear that Baldoni's reputation for respect and fairness is well deserved. Looks like Baldoni's building up quite the squad of defenders, right?
For those who are not in the Hollywood world, what is wrong with her taking over the film?
I've never seen it before in my 30-plus year career in Hollywood. And an executive producer is below a producer in the film world. An executive producer signed up to be an executive producer, and that's it. As the time progressed in this film, she decided that she wanted to be a producer. She started to make edits. She wanted to be part of the editing team. There were people hired, like human beings actually hired to do the editing job, who had done work as editors. She wanted to be part of that team. The next thing you know, she took over the editing. She started making threats that she wouldn't promote the movie, that she wanted to be in control of marketing of the movie, that she would do nothing in terms of promotion unless she was the actual editor.
Jordan Fisher wasn't just chatting for the sake of it. He really broke things down when asked about the tension on set. He made it clear that Baldoni is the kind of guy who would sit down and work through any issue instead of letting things slide. This was a huge statement against the idea that Lively was always disrespected. Jordan also pointed out that if all that comedic and high fashion stuff made it into the movie, it probably was a group decision, something they all agreed on creatively, not just Baldoni pushing his agenda. Fans are loving that, especially since Jordan's known for being chill and down to earth. His words are a solid vote of confidence for Baldoni's side of the story. Next, we've got Auli E. Cravalho, the voice of Moana. While she hasn't worked with either Lively or Baldoni directly, they met at a benefit concert. When the drama came up, Auli E. didn't hesitate to speak her truth. She said there's no way someone as warm and open as Baldoni would ignore a star's input, especially not Lively's. She described him as someone who listens and adjusts, showing he's not just a collaborator, but genuinely respects others' ideas. That's a big endorsement from someone who's seen Baldoni in action, even if they didn't work together. Auli's words hit hard, especially since she's newer to the industry, but still values reputation. Her perspective added something fresh to the conversation. And then there's Shawn Mendes. While he's not making movies, his friendship with Baldoni runs deep, especially thanks to their shared love for charity work. When the rumors about Lively twisting the truth came up, Shawn took to social media to defend Baldoni. He called him one of the real ones in Hollywood and praised his commitment to telling honest stories. Shawn didn't directly name Lively, but the timing of his post made it clear where he stood. Camila Cabello got real during a live Q&A with her fans when the rumors about Baldoni making comedic changes to the movie came up. Someone asked her if she thought Baldoni was ignoring Lively's voice, and Camila quickly shut it down. She said she's never known Baldoni to be manipulative. Camilla also pointed out how he always works to make sure everyone's voice is heard on set. Plus, with Lively's years of experience and connections, there's no way she could easily be sidelined. Camilla's comments weren't super deep, but they definitely added to the feeling that maybe Lively's side of the story was missing some details. Then there's Sophia Bush, who's basically the head of Baldoni's defense squad. She's known for being real and pushing for fairness in Hollywood, so it's no surprise she didn't hold back. Word is, she reached out to Baldoni privately after his lawsuit made headlines to offer some support. But she didn't stop there. During a public event about women in film, she said, "One person's story can't always be taken at face value when we know how complicated big productions can be." People couldn't help but think she was hinting at Lively's side, reminding everyone that things are rarely as simple as they seem. Sophia's call for considering multiple perspectives really struck a chord, especially since she's all about making sure women's voices are heard in the industry. Her message gave Baldoni a little boost, suggesting the full truth would come out eventually to clear his name. Even with all the big names backing him up, the drama's still burning hot. Lively's not backing down. She insists that Baldoni let the comedy and high fashion stuff take over, pushing the emotional depth of the book aside. She's been firm that her concerns were ignored, leaving her out of the loop on key creative decisions.
She, time and time again, she accuses him of doing something, which then when you hear the full context is an absolute nothing burger. She accused his producing partner. Now she wants a complete gag order. Now he needs to be shut down to protect her. This is very unfair to poor Blake. Why should Justin be able to release snippets to the media without the full context? That's what she said. That's what she did. She alleges that she's a Me Too victim there. That's absurd. And I can tell you that as somebody who's not a Hollywood actress, notwithstanding my very short stint in that cartoon, Bircham. Okay, but I'm just saying, this person is not an honest broker. I believe her less than ever. I actually disbelieve her fully now.
Things really escalated when Lively took her complaints to court, claiming defamation and a toxic work environment. But Baldoni wasn't about to stay quiet. He fired back with a massive $400 million defamation lawsuit, bringing text messages, meeting notes, and other receipts that supposedly prove Lively knew about and approved the comedic rewrites and wardrobe choices from the start.
And she seemed to be really bothered by Baldoni praising her passion for the scene as opposed to her actual contribution of her work. She wrote back, "I told them," seemingly meaning Reynolds and Swift, "that you laughed a bunch and said it's probably a blend, but you appreciate my passion so much," which of course didn't feel great for me, or them, to have my passion be praised instead of any specific contribution, or even just that you didn't like the pages, which was fine also.
This drama is far from over, and the plot twists just keep coming. So what do you think? Is Baldoni just defending himself, or is there more to Lively's claims? Drop your thoughts in the comments. That's all for today's video. If you liked it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more updates.